Welcome. Welcome to my three thought video. Today, I'm in Numbers, Psalms, and in the book of Luke. And in Numbers chapter 5, verses 6 and 7, it says, when a man wrongs another in any way and so is unfaithful to the Lord, that person is guilty and must confess the sin he has committed. And I think that it's interesting to me that any offense against one another is an offense against God, offense against the creator, the one who made us, made everyone else. And our sin against one another is a sin against the Lord. That means all sin is unfaithfulness. All of the things that we do that we would say is not right is a sin against God's law, God's code. Later, I'm going to talk about in book of Luke something else that I think that the brokenness of man is that we try to decide for ourselves what's wrong, and then and then when we do wrong, well, it's no big deal. I decided that it was wrong, and if I break that rule, it's no big deal. I mean, it's just my decide. It's my choice. I choose to do wrong. I choose to do right. But God says, no, all evil is against God and all good is according to his will. Then in Psalms chapter 131, verses 1 and 2, it says, I do not concern myself with great matters or things too wonderful for me, but I have stilled and quieted my soul like a weaned child with its mother. And it's a really beautiful picture about how we can calm ourselves with God, as though like a little child who's just happy with his mom's presence. Like it just needs to be in the presence of his mother, and he's calm. And the psalmist is talking about calming myself and being not too worried about the big important matters of the world, but just calm myself with God. This sort of leads me to just a reminder as a spiritual director, as a life coach. If you're anxious and can't seem to find any peace, a life coach and a spiritual director could really help. Try to focus, find importance, find result, find what you're looking for, and then really listen to the Lord. What is going on in my soul that I'm so discomforted and so disquieted and so unwell? Lastly, in Luke chapter 11, verse 35, see to it that the light within you is not darkness. This verse in context is talking about, Jesus is talking to experts in the law and talking about how they like the seats in the synagogues way up front, greetings in the marketplace. And he's talking about see to it that the light within you is not darkness. And it just sort of struck me that so many times we try to do good, but it's not God's goodness. It's really not God's righteousness, God's will, but it's a virtue, but it's only signaled, like it doesn't really get inside us. It's not really that we want goodness, but really we want others to see us as good. And that's darkness, right? If the good that's within us is really just a desire for others to see us as good, well, that's not really good. That's darkness. God wants us to be true to him, right? That our goodness is really a reflection of God's goodness, God's love, God's enjoyment and pleasure and righteousness, his creation. And when we embrace God and embrace his righteousness and holiness and love and affection, that's true light. But when we try to be good in ourselves so that others might think well of us, or we just try to do good as best we can, let's improve ourselves, that's not really light, but rather light that's actual darkness. That's all for today. Again, I do spiritual direction and life coaching for pastors and business leaders or people that just want to see improvement in their life or in their relationship with God. And if you're wondering how to quiet my soul, how to find peace in a storm, that's a wonderful thing to have a spiritual director for. Hope you're doing well. That's my 3 thought video for today, and we'll see you next time.